Hey,
Fuck.
that was my idea. Sorry.
But what was the thing? It's just
Well, that's the fucking noise that come on the phone earlier.
I know, but like it was
Panicking.
that was struggling. That was really struggling.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Oh my gosh. Thank you all for joining us. Another Friday night pint. It looks like we've signed another player. We've finally got Arne Engels from Celtic, which should be hopefully all wrapped up in time for the big game that we're going to look ahead to. Burnley. The league starts this weekend. It starts tonight.
Starting now. It's kicked off now as it happens. We'll keep an eye on that.
Our potential rivals for promotion and maybe the league are playing now, but West Ham's season properly officially starts Sunday, and I'm looking forward to getting it under wraps. We've got other players coming and going. Lots to talk about, lads. Ryan's looking very well back from holiday.
Look at his hair, man. Look at that. Jesus.
Yeah. Gone blonde. Bit of a tan. Nice break. It's nice. It was a lovely holiday. Good people. Lovely food. Good settings. Nice beer. Lovely weather. What more can you ask for?
Nice, mate. I tell you what. I'm sick of hot weather. I'm looking forward to the winter. It's the first summer. I'm like, give me the winter.
This is fucking. I am suffering, mate. Today, I have suffered today. It's absolutely fucking scorching. I'm sure my car earlier said it was 41 or 42.
Yeah. I've had enough of it. I've had enough. So bring on the winter. But guys, it's looking like Arne Engels is done. Obviously, this is a player that we've been linked with for ages now. This window, nearly all window, we've been seeing his name in. Celtic been reluctant to sell. I think they wanted over 30 million initially. We've got him for 22 million plus 3 million in add-ons, and this was the guy, and this could potentially solve a big problem for West Ham, and that could be our creativity. It's, we've got our Somerville replacement in Sullivan. Now we've got our Fernandez replacement to make those passes, guys. Are you excited? I mean, obviously, as Ryan's back in that, so let's get your thoughts, mate. Are you excited about this signing?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm excited. I'm glad that we've got a signing. I don't really know too much about him. I'm not going to lie. I don't watch Scottish football too much. But he's 22. I've seen mixed reviews from Celtic fans about him. Some are gutted that he's gone, and some are pleased that he's gone. Obviously, I think they turned down a bid from Nottingham Forest the other week for 25 million. So it just shows that the pool we've still got, that we're a championship club, and we've taken away probably top team in Scotland. You know what I mean? So he can play right wing, he can play right back, he can play centre mid. So he's going to be good for versatility. But look, it's a signing, and we need more, but it's a start.
The thing is, right, what I would say is they're obviously looking for the quality, and they're obviously looking for the players that they think fit. I think for too long now, we have just gone out and done a scattergun approach and fucking looked at, what the fuck's that? I'm scared. What's that, right? Oh, she's here. Oh,
yeah.
We've gone a scattergun approach. We've tried to just, we've put in bids for all over the fucking shop. Whoever comes up trumps, we sign, and that's why we ended up in the place we are. Listen, we've had some fucking absolute gems come along to this football club, but for every one gem, we've had 4 turds. Let's be honest, in the last sort of 3-4 years. And they're looking like they're actually building a list of people that, they think, yes, that's who we need. That's who we're going to go for. They're not putting all their eggs in one basket, because they are looking at other targets, but it seems like they're looking at the same sort of targets every time. They're not looking to just, who's the name, who's available, what agent's offering who. Just put the bids in to see what sticks. It looks like they're actually targeting people, and they're coming off. Listen, we was all a bit worried the other week when there was no signings and there was people out the door, but it's starting to come along nicely. I think the Portsmouth win was a nice little indication that we can, we still have got the quality to to up it, and we can sort of get through to the end of the transfer window. Winning games, and we've got players that win games. We don't know who's going. I've got a little bit of exclusive news later, I'll tell you, after we've had this bit of conversation, because I went to the training ground the other day and I'll tell you what I saw. But it seems like they're actually getting people that they actually want, rather than, just seeing what's available and doing the scattergun approach, which I think is good. They're targeting people.
Yeah, I was away for the Portsmouth game, but I managed to find a sports bar out there to watch it. And the first 40 minutes sort of worried me a bit, because I thought this is a competitive game and we looked really bad. But then once we got the ball and got comfortable, all right, the goals, some of them were deflections, but it was good that we found that confidence and we got the win against Portsmouth. And this is why I thought it was important to have that competitive game before the season, because now we go into Sunday and I've got a little bit more confidence. Obviously, we signed Solomon during the week. I've been obviously reading the things about that online as well, like people's views on that. But look, I just want players to come into this football club and do well, and if he can add to the squad and help us get back up, I think it takes a lot of pressure off of players like Bowen this season to allow him to just play his game. I was watching the build-up earlier on Sky Sports News, and there was a lot of pundits backing Bowen to, is he the best player to ever play in the Championship?
I think that's a lot of pressure, though, Roy. I think it's pressure.
Yeah, of course there is. There's a lot of pressure on him.
Along with him, but...
Yeah, and look, I know that some people are mentioning about Troy Parrott there, and apparently he's now going to Spain. But look,
that's I think that's just rumor. I don't think there's any concrete source. There's just a few people off Twitter, so there's nothing solid with that at the moment.
I mean, if we can get that one over the line as well, I think that will just complete it. We would need another couple. I know me and Nicky spoke earlier, and we said about Disassi. We'd love to see him back at the football club if we can get that pulled off. Listen, Jamie Vardy for me is a no, because I said to Nicky earlier, I remember people sitting on here saying that signing people at 30 years old was too old. Now you want to sign a 39-year-old. It's just not for me. It's not the right option for me at the moment. But yeah, it's we're looking a lot more better than we did a couple of weeks ago, but there is still a lot of work to do.
Yeah, we're looking a lot more complete, and I think with someone like Engels, I think there was some salty Celtic fans. There were some Celtic fans who were wishing him well. Like, it's a good signing. And I think the ones that like good, they came across a bit salty, because it's hard to take when you see yourself as one of the biggest clubs in football and a team that's in the Championship are taking one of your valued players. And look, Martin O'Neill didn't want to sell him. And I think that sums it up. Martin O'Neill wanted to keep him, but he's like, look, it's West Ham's a great club and it's another opportunity. But he'll really slot in there in that midfield. Probably him next to Alvarez, I can see. So it allows us to, just pick up where we left off last season, because he'll play that role. He can ping passes along. He can dribble. He can carry the ball. So whether he turns out to be a world beater, I think he's going to be good for where we are now. I think we signed him on I don't know if it was a 3 or 5 year deal, but yeah, I think it's profile wise, I think it's exactly what we need.
Dan, sorry, but I think the most important thing that people forgot about, and it came in the middle of chaos, and it came in the middle of a time where all communications with the board seems to have ceased. People are pretty much guessing. Like, obviously, the big inner knows know the sort of, what's going on in terms of signings and when they're coming and when they're getting over the line. But in terms of knowing what was going on exactly, there was rumours that they was going to pull the transfer funds away. There was, the Stavely thing is a smoke. There's all of these things going on. And, I think it got everyone a bit worried, thinking, this is chaos. It just seems like we're not ready to go. But I think what the most important thing was, and I said this a few weeks back as well, and don't get me wrong, when I went over to Magdeburg and I saw the Magdeburg game, and I was a little bit worried. I was thinking, fucking hell, we look like miles off of it, But obviously you can't read too much into pre-season, but, there just didn't seem to be any sort of coalition with what we were trying to do, right? But I think what the most important thing for the club to do was sit down and see who's staying and who's going. That's what you got to sort out first. And I think, if you try and assign all of these players, as I said before, if you don't know what ingredients you got. You know, how are you going to add the last bits of the cake? You know, you don't want to buy lots of amounts of eggs or flour or whatever. You know, you have to get the right ingredients right. So the first things first, they had to sit down with every player, and the first one was Jared. And I think once Jared committed, I think there was a lot that turned around and went, yeah, I'll have it. You know, I think, you know, obviously there could still be people going out, but you have to see who's staying. And as I said before, I've got a little bit of exclusive news, what I saw at the training ground the other day, and I'll tell you what I saw. So there you go.
Go on,
oh, you want me to tell you now? Sorry, I thought you wanted to do it in another.
Oh, no. Well, I've just because you've said it twice, you might as well.
I'll tell you.
You ain't going to tell us that we've got a brand new porter cabin, have you?
No. Yeah, we've got two. No, I saw several players. I saw Fulkrug, Tadibo, and Wan-Bissaka all leaving with suitcases. Now, read that what you will, right? And I just left, but a friend of mine was still there. Thomas Souček came out, and he was in there a little bit later than everyone else. He is 4 weeks away from coming back from playing again. He is 4 weeks.
Yeah, because I did see that he could return sooner than expected, but 4 weeks is very good. Very good.
Yeah, he said it with you know, with his own mouth, 4 weeks from coming back. So,
well, Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah.
Go on, man.
No, I was going to say the three players you mentioned that were walking out with suitcases, good.
Yeah,
you know,
no, I agree, mate. I agree.
Well, Wan-Bissaka's never been heavily linked with Villa lately, so and apparently them links are really looking concrete. And so if we can get, we know Villa have got money now with the sales they've got, and they've floated around this 25 mil. If we can get anywhere near that 25 mil for Wan-Bissaka, that's excellent business.
It's twice the money for a geezer that don't want to be there.
Yeah. That's it. But you know, we did this. We did the same with Somerville and Fernandez. It's like, it don't matter if you don't want to be here, mate. The value's the value. We'll get the value. Yeah. So I think that's good.
Even if we recoup what we actually got for him, you know, he's a player that don't want to be there. Get him out straight away. Fulkrug's never been good for this football club. I said it a long time ago. Tadibo, for me, his head ain't there. His head's not. It hasn't been at this football club for a long time, so he wants out. So let him go as well. You know, he was a good defender on his day, but if he doesn't want to be here, get rid of him. Get him out as soon as you can. You know, and then replace him with players that want to play for the football club. It's simple as that.
Tadibo would be great if we didn't have football managers in football. Like, if he didn't have to have a manager, it'd be great. But unfortunately,
if it was boxing, it'd be brilliant.
He just don't get on with managers. Oh, KG's in the house. Okay, listen, we got code for you, mate. We finally got a code. So you need to message us on the social medias, mate.
Yeah, we're getting all the codes from last week's stream. So if you did win one last week, we are starting to get the codes. We've got 5 at the moment, and then there'll be another 4 given away on last week's video.
Yeah. So, but we put one aside for you, which I've been promising you for a while, KG. So message us on social medias. You know, you'll find us. So shout out to you. So yeah, like I said, look, I mean, it's not a revelation to see they're going, but it's very interesting. Like you said, that they're leaving with it looks like it could be happening sooner rather than later.
And none of them stopped for autographs. Not one.
Yeah, so miserable fuckers.
To be fair,
what I mean? And they're going to do their shitty little statement probably. Oh, thanks to the club and the fans.
Yeah. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit.
You know, we listen. We're you know what I mean, we're rebuilding. You know, we're getting players in that do want to be here, keeping players that want to be here and fight, and those players that do stay, I think will, you know, be thought of very well within the fan base. To be honest with you,
you know, it's one of them things, and you know, we've been through a few good years, the Moyes years, and when we had Declan and all that sort of thing, because the dressing room and the end of Nobes and all that sort of thing, and there's been a decline ever since them sort of things have started to leave, because you know, one of the most important things for a team is that you are a team and that you are enjoying yourself and, you know, the dressing rooms together. And since, you know, it started with Nobes going, obviously Nobes was an important figure in the dressing room. Then Declan seemed to be an important figure. Then a couple of the bigger players like the Soufals and the Cresswells, who, you know, seem to, you know, have been like a mainstay in the place. And Moisey leaving, you know, and ever since then, it just seems to have got worse and worse and worse in the dressing room. And that's why probably we find ourselves in the place we are, because, you know, at the end of the day, and I said this about Lucas and all that, and I know, you know, Pablo isn't a very good footballer, but I'd rather have a Pablo than a Lucas Paqueta who doesn't want to play for you. You know, you have to have these players that want to play for you. You have to,
Yeah.
because even if they're the shittest,
I won't agree with that.
I know what you're going to say.
Agree with that.
I know what you're going to say.
I'd rather have a fucking.
No,
honestly, I'd rather have a packet of crisps.
Even if they could be the best player in the world, but if they don't want to play and they refuse to play, there is no point in having them.
Yeah.
No
the thing
point.
is, Pablo ain't refused to play, but I heard he wants to leave.
Pablo should be happy that he's getting picked. To be honest, I mean, I watched him last week, and fuck. Look, I know there's
my
people
heart goes
out
out to him. My heart goes out to him. Right? No player goes out to play badly. So
listen, of course, but I know there's people out there that won't have a bad word said against him because they backed him in the beginning, and they're just these sort of people that are just going to keep backing him, and then he'll score, and then they'll say, "See, I told you." But I watched him last week, and look, yeah, his heart's there, but even like for Bowen's goal, he went to shoot, and people were saying it was assist. He fell over.
He miscontrolled it.
He fell over and miskicked it. I mean, look.
1-0.
As we said last week, Antonio had a difficult bit of a start there, and when
I feel for him. I do feel for him, mate, and I want him to succeed. Of course, I do. Anyone that plays for West Ham,
you just can't see it.
He's just not good enough.
And if anyone, he's telling me, listen, I want him to succeed, and you never know. One goal might change everything, but what I've seen,
the thing is, it will get to the point where, I mean, you have to look at Nuno. You can never blame Pablo. Like, he's not being shit on purpose, right? He gives effort, but if he's in the team every week, then that's on Nuno. And look, I just think if he's in the team and we win, then it don't matter.
Yeah, you're putting pressure on him as well. Like, take him out for a while, give him a little bit of a respite, because you can see it's affecting him. You can see it's affecting. Funny enough, I was sitting with Kevin Nolan yesterday. Ban this geezer down because he's going to fucking spam the fucking chat. I was sitting with Kevin Nolan yesterday, and I remember Kevin Nolan was brilliant for us, right? But I remember towards the end that we was put on post-match point really, really slating him. And it's going to come because, and I spoke to him yesterday, and I said to him, look, I felt a bit guilty when we used to do that for you because you was one of our, better signings in the last, but at the end, it just weren't working. He says, look, he goes, I knew it was harder for me, but I could only go on what the manager's doing. If the manager's picking me, I'm just doing my best. I understand the frustrations. I understand that I'm not as good as I was 2-3 years ago, but what can I do? If the manager picks me, I've just got to do the best I can. But you're putting yourself in the firing line there, and I think that's a bit, take him out of it for a while, take him out of it for a while because he's, you can tell it's affecting him.
Shout out to Andy, member, good old Andy, member for 12 months. As Albert said, only fools and horses. When Rodney asked, does he look like me? It's just rumours. We have more than a school playground. No news is good news. Yeah, I mean, that is refreshing to see things not as overplayed. Like, there's still leaks and bits and dribs and drabs.
Wolves have scored.
Fucking hell, Nick, you're behind, didn't you? I said that
sorry,
about
mate,
5 minutes ago.
Sorry, mate, just come up with my.
I said,
hang on. Breaking news: Titanic hit the iceberg.
Yeah. I think Brookie's just won the FA Cup at West Ham.
There's a battle in Hastings going on.
Oh, my
God. There's a great
the
fire in London.
So yeah, look, when it comes to those lot going out, it seems Diouf was linked with a move to Brentford for 35 mil plus 5 million add-ons, but apparently the club are keen to keep him, which is very interesting. I mean, look, I would have took that money and ran with it. Right? I thought.
How much did you say? Because you cut out them.
£35 million plus 5 million add-ons. So that's what apparently Brentford for Diouf. So apparently that's what Brentford,
mate, and they've refused that.
Apparently West Ham are keen to keep him. They don't want to sell him. I think
that is madness.
He's still a young player, right? He was really poor second half of last season. Even his delivery went to shit. Never mind his defending, which was always suspect. All the goals that came down on his side. But they have to surely see something where he can improve in those areas and they can develop him. Because why would you, off of the player that we saw last season as a whole, that is excellent money that can be reinvested. So they have to see something long term.
Yeah, they have to, and obviously, but there is a couple of if you remember this correctly, right, we was offered. I remember we was offered £60 million for Issa Diop, and we turned it down, saying no, we see him as our future. He ended up going for about 10, didn't he? Something like that. Something crazy. Like sometimes
the thing is, this could be a good season for Diouf. You know, I agree with what with what Dan said just a minute ago. First half of the season, I thought he was brilliant, and then when the pressure got to him, he was lacking a bit. But that's not to say he ain't a decent player. There is a good player there. Yeah. So a year in the Championship could toughen him up a bit. So if we do keep him, I'm not going to be like, don't get me wrong, I'd rather, if someone come in with a 50, 60 million pound bid for him, I'd rather take the money. But if we're going to keep him, I think that he could adapt to the Championship. I think it'll be good for him, for his career as well.
Yeah. He's got pace and he's got power, strength. You know, he's got those attributes that we are missing in a lot of other areas of the club. So he's got that about him. If it is true we're holding out for 50 mil and we actually get Brentford or someone to pay it, then fair play.
That is transfer genius if they do.
That is based off one season, like under us, that was 50-50. I don't know why people he thought it was. I was going to say it's not 2-0. I'm up to date. So yeah, look, the club.
I'm looking at the wrong result. I'm looking for one from last season. I've just clicked on the wrong game.
He is behind. Bloody hell. So yeah, look, we'll see what we do. I think Scholes has made a good account of himself in pre-season, so I want to see him get. This was the other one, right? Harry Amas from Man United. Apparently, that's someone that we're looking at. I see something. Someone said about his name is H. Amas, and it's like having him in the same team. Listen, people, it's football. People make their jokes. You know, it's a joke. You know, it's like, but I can't lie, I did chuckle. But yeah, so yeah, look, we've got they'll have options. You know what I mean? So if we do go in for him, I don't know anything about Amas. Like, I can't tell you anything about him, but I don't want to loan other teams' youngsters. Like, I will loan Disasi or someone like that, or a player that can't get into a team. But then I just don't want to develop another team's youngster and then send them back. They're good. I know it's worked out for other Championship teams, but I would swerve it if it's a loan.
Don't get Nick on Sky Sports Saturday. No, I'd be like, fucking, have they, Jeff?
Yeah. But yeah, it looks like they've decided not to sign, I think it was Reece Nelson, because of his injury record.
Yeah.
Quite a few. He'd have been good. Reece Nelson would have been a good signing.
Yeah, but we can't afford to take up squad place at the minute. Somebody said there is a GoFundMe page for a Millwall fan who's going through a tough and bad time at the moment. Remember, Millwall helped Tyler. Yeah, well, I don't think anyone would ever forget them. Listen, forward us the GoFundMe page and we'll tweet it, mate, and we'll push it. You know, if it's genuine, and obviously, like, you have to be careful with that sort of thing. But yeah, if that is the case, our hearts go out. Absolutely. You know, some things are bigger than football. But what was the other comment I saw? I can't fucking find it now. How do I get that off, Dan?
Just hide current comment.
How old's Ryan?
Sancho,
mate. If you could get him, it'd be great in the Championship. But I don't know about that geezer. How has he ended up like he has at 26?
I think Sancho's will have a few options. I don't.
Yeah, it's probably taking his time, mate.
Yeah, it'd be very hard to lure someone like him to the Championship, but he's just one of these players that just sort of, he had everything. He had the world at his feet at one point, and then he's just gone backwards. He went to United, you know, he struggled, and he's been out on loan.
Wrong choices, wrong time.
Yeah, he's just finding it hard, and you know, he will find a club that he will settle at and get back to why people paid a lot of money for him. You know, so it's a shame because he is a decent player.
Somebody said he's got to scramble my brains. You're not wrong there, mate. Fucking hell. I was walking around in the days earlier.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He's on mega money anyway, Sancho, and I just think he's a player massively in decline.
thing
It
is-
would be a good if he wanted to rebuild himself and try to get. It'd be a great move for him to do that. If he's heading the right way.
It'd be a fantastic project for him if he wants to come to a club and start again. But let's be honest, like if he doesn't get an offer from someone like
1-1.
Is it?
Yeah, 1-1. Great ball in, great header. Blackburn 1-1. Oh,
But
listen, that's good for us because I see Wolves. Wolves are definitely potentially a big threat. So
yeah, of course.
this would be good for West Ham.
But yeah, if he doesn't get an offer from someone like one of the like a Tottenham could take him.
Surely going back to Germany would be the best thing.
Yeah,
for him.
like Dortmund could take him back. But he'll definitely get an offer from someone like fucking Newcastle or something. I mean, Newcastle could fucking do with him at the minute. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But I
But
can't think to get a fucking single signing over the line.
I feel like it's got to be a mentality issue that's wrong with him.
Yeah.
But shout out to Matt. WHUFC has been a member for 12 months. Any info on the ownership? Not sure if it's been covered. Got it a bit late. I tell you what, I've been thinking about this a lot lately. There was a week where it was mental. Like it was everywhere, right? They're fucking releasing statements and all of this stuff, and they're fighting over shares. Radio silence. This is the thing that just pisses me off about Daniel Kretinsky, is this silent sphinx persona. Is that he never really addresses the fans. It'll make this little statement in the time, and then it's just nothing. Like there's no update. Like we heard he was supposed to be buying Vanessa Gold shares, exercising his preemption rights. See, I think he did sell the 2% to his mate. I think he actually sold his 2% to his mate. Then he was going to buy Vanessa Gold shares. Well, what's happened with that? Like we heard he was going to do it last time.
Put it this way, right? Before I go and get a drink. What would you rather? Would you rather a geezer that does his business silently and just gets on with it? Or would you rather a geezer that fucking sits there fucking broadcasting to the world what he's going to do?
No, but I think communicating with the fans is important because
of course, but he's got to bed into the role. He's not.
We don't even know what his role because we don't know. Like,
no, we don't. We don't.
Is he getting these shit? Like, what is that? Because this is a big. This ain't like, I'm gonna make this signing. We're gonna sign this player. We don't know who's going to be owning this football club and who's doing what. Like,
I understand what you're saying, mate, and I do understand that it's frustrating, but I'm happy to let them get on with it. There's too many times this over the last 10, 15
but then get on with it.
Where they're just, where they're just broadcasting the fucking, everything to everyone.
He's not.
Yeah, no, I agree with both of you. I agree with both of you. As fans, we want to know what's going on, but sometimes
you got to let them work it out.
Ain't the worst thing in the world. So there might be things going on behind the scenes, and then hopefully it does get sorted sooner rather than later. But look, I see what Dan's saying. We all want to know. We want to know what's going on. And when we did have that week where you had Stavely coming out and saying this and Kretinsky saying that, there was a bit of excitement because we think, hang on, something's going to happen. And now it's just gone literally silent.
That is it, because he can't have it both ways. Like he'll put some information out there. Like, we're going to do X, Y, Z, and then nothing. And then we don't see anything happening. We're just in limbo. There's no update of, remember what I said? This is the progress on it, or this is where we're at with it. Like, so he could have just said nothing to begin with.
Yeah.
But he put that out there, and now people don't know what the hell's going on.
Somebody said I need a hydration break. They're not wrong because it is fucking sweltering in here.
Yes, it's frustrating, but hopefully, we get some sort of update off it. I don't think Stavely and co are done. I don't think they've given up. But it's going to be a bit of a battle.
They've got to talk though. They've got to talk about what the future is between them. Because if they're going to come in, you can't just force your way. You don't want an all-out war. You don't want a situation where the boardroom are at war with each other. Over control of the club. They have to sit down and chat about what their roles are going to be, how they can work together. I don't want people just buying into the club and then the two of them hate each other, because that statement that he put out when they was, about to buy them shares was pretty fucking damning, and it just shows you, like, he wasn't too welcoming of that, and he let you know that. So let them meet together, and if they can work together, I think they will. But at the end of the day,
he should work with them.
Yeah, he should. Yeah, he definitely should. But he has to make sure they're genuine, and he has to.
They balance each other out. really well, I think.
Yeah, but he has to, do his due diligence. There's too many times when people do jump feet first. Although she has got a great track record, Amanda, and I think she'd be good for this club, to be fair. But
yeah, it speaks for itself.
Right, let me get a drink, and I'll let you carry on for a minute, second.
Yeah, go on. So he was doing.
Like with Amanda Staveley. I mean, when I was away, I was talking to a Geordie Newcastle fan in the hotel, and he was raving about her. He said that they loved her when she was there and what she'd done for the football club on and off the pitch. She was obviously part of the helping them build the team to win their first trophy in 50, 60 years, whatever it was. So, yeah, he said if you can get her, she'll be really good for your football club. I said that you will get some negatives, but you get that with any owners. He went, but they really loved her. So, yeah, no, it'd be interesting to see if we can get that over the line. And as I agree with what you said, mate, sometimes when it goes quiet, you think, oh, what's happening? But then next week we'll probably we'll have.
Yeah. It's just weird, isn't it? Like and this happened before, like we have this flurry of just fucking information overload and then nothing. Like it's weird. Like where other stories, and like when Newcastle had their takeover, like it was just consistent, like bits.
Yeah,
we wouldn't go a few weeks with nothing, radio silence. It's just nothing, and it's so weird.
No, I know. And as fans, and especially having social media nowadays, we're so impatient. We just want to know now, and that is a good thing. If this was 25 years ago and we didn't have social media, we'd have to wait for it to come out in the newspaper the next day. But with social media now, it is there. Like they can release statements and interact with the fans and let us know what's going on. So
it's that hopefully something happens. It's that there's that uncertainty around the club, and I think there was obviously the talk about Kretinsky investing into the team, right? I think he was going to loan about 100 million for transfers. And obviously that's not happened. And it's a case of, well, have we got to sort out the ownership thing before we can do that? And it don't feel like we're going to sort it out before the window closes. Because I think I saw that our budget was around 40 million for transfers, which is, I don't know if that's like net, because obviously we've already spent, we've spent about just under 30, or in and around 30, which would mean Parrott is going to cost more than that, right? So I don't know. Or it's 45.
Yeah, I think they're looking at about 30 odd million for him. That's what they're looking at for him. So, yeah, I mean, look, I think it'd be a brilliant signing if we can get him that over the line. But there's going to be interest from other clubs for him as well. Look, he's been banging in the goals for Alkmaar. So, yeah, it'd be interesting.
I don't know what West Ham United, what the generic name means by you can't use cash investment for transfers. Ask people who know the rules. Like it has been reported all summer that our financial situation with transfers can be alleviated with investment into the club. So the FFP PSR can be eased up. Those restraints can be eased up with direct investment. And I believe there's a limit to how much that can be. But that was the whole point of him loaning the 100 mil. What would the 100 mil be for then, if not to help those constraints with PSR? So explain that to me, West Ham United fan. £2 super chat. How many more signings? It's a good question. How many more signings are you expecting? So let's assume that Engels is definitely going through. We've got two in the door so far. I'm not counting La Madrid. We just made that loan permanent. No, the 100 mil is not official yet. So how many more signings? I'm gonna say 3. I'm expecting 3 more through the door. Parrott or an alternative striker, a centre back.
We did sign a centre back though. Don't forget.
Well, he's a right back / sort of centre back.
Yeah.
But I think if with Todibo out, I think we can sign another one and maybe another. Yeah.
Yeah, I think with the 3 that look like they're going to leave, and maybe there's rumours that Magassa might be leaving as well. So there could be another 4 or 5 out the door. I think personally, even with what we've signed, we need at least another minimum 4 signings, 5. Definitely, I think, because I think we're just going to need that squad depth because the championship is going to be hard, and you're going to be playing like Tuesday, Saturday. Tuesday, Saturday, you're going to be playing near enough 2 games a week. So and that's without the cup game. So
do you know what I would do, though? I would go for another centre half just so we've got 4 ready to go. If we can get the Sarsi, I think you'll see a couple of loans. This is my there's no link here and whatever. Do you know what I would go for? And I'd have a little punt at Harvey Elliott. I would have a punt at Harvey Elliott.
I can't see that happening.
You never know.
We struggled to get him in the Premier League. We was having trouble signing him.
Yeah, but it never really took off from at Villa. He's in a little bit of limbo at Liverpool, it looks like. So I'd have a go at him because we could be one of them. That could be a Lingard signing. That could be. Why are you laughing?
No, it's fucking Joe. I only respond to rage bait. That's such a lie. Such a lie. Listen, it'd be good signing if we could get him. I think that would be a challenge. And I
just have a little punt at him. I think you'd have a little.
Yeah, but you're saying take a punt at him like it's he'd fucking jump at the chance like being an easy sign. I think that would be it'd be a great option in the championship. I don't think that'd be a punt. I don't think that's a punt.
No, I don't know. What I'm saying is take a punt at getting him. You've got to convince him. Yeah, you've got to convince him. Like I think it'd be a shoe-in to get into the team, and he'd probably tear it up in the Premier League if we got back there. But I'm just saying, take a punt at like trying to convince him. Say to him, look, come here. This is a place where you can rebuild. We've got big plans here. I know we're going to spend a year in the championship, but just take a punt at it. Just take a punt. You can only ask, Dan.
I think the thing is, I think these sort of transfers, especially these sort of loans, are really going to start to take shape towards the end of that window. When,
of course. When people will know where they're going to be.
They know where they're going to be.
Players will start panicking towards the transfer window, and then they want to get out. So if a team like West Ham did go for, like Nick said, a Harvey Elliott, there's a few days before the transfer window show, and he's thinking, I don't want to be sitting on Liverpool's bench all season, or maybe not even making the bench.
More players.
I'll go and play week in, week out at West Ham. So
last year of his contract, there you go. So
it's the same with.
And it's one of them things as well. Like people are laughing at us. Like in a million years, when we last went down, who the fuck would have thought we would have got someone like Kevin Nolan? Kevin Nolan was one of the best goal scoring midfielders at the time in the Premier League. And he dropped out of the Premier League to come to West Ham.
Yeah, that was arguably a bigger signing than Harvey Elliott. Really.
Probably our best signing ever.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's a bigger that was a bigger pull than Harvey Elliott would be today.
Oh right? Yeah, of course. Yeah, that was near on impossible. Even the England squad, playing for Newcastle.
This scenario is if no other Prem clubs try to get him. Liverpool, they're going to do business. Have done enough business where he goes, fuck, I'm not even second choice. I'm getting to third choice now. I'm not going to get any game time. I need to play. And then we come in. And so I think a lot of these are going to start to take shape. Disarcy's another one. Apparently, he was linked massively with Palace, and Palace were interested, but they don't want to pay a £5 million loan fee, right, for a straight loan. It's a straight, they call dry loan, right? I don't want to pay that fee. Yeah. So that means that if they're not willing to pay that, West Ham, slap that down, boys.
Disassi really enjoyed his time at West Ham last season, didn't he? And he settled in straight away. The fans took to him. I know, is it his aunt who's a West Ham fan? So he's got the connections there. But I thought there would have been a lot more clubs interested in him, especially the way he played for us last season. So if we can get him back, I think that'll be massive for us. I really do.
Yeah. I can understand him wanting to see if he can stay in the Prem. And I think obviously Palace was appealing because they're in London. So it means he gets to stay in London. But if Palace, obviously they do need a centre back, but if they're not willing to pay £5 million for a loan fee, and we come in, I mean, what else is he going to hold out for? What other clubs? Really, is he going to go Everton? Maybe I don't know. But
I think it all depends. If Saudi come in, he could go there. I think he's not. If someone from France could come in last minute, he could go there. If he's holding out for Premier League, someone like Coventry might come in. you know, and he could go there. But
yeah, but I think the London thing helps. I think the London thing makes things a lot easier.
If someone like, you know, Hull are the only ones in for him and we're in for him, he might think, well, you know, is it worth fucking, you know, up even and going up to Hull? We might as well just stay in London. I've been at West Ham, I know the place, and you know, but we'll see. Listen, it's all speculation at the minute. I ain't got
Palace are in Europe, so that's a big appeal there as well.
Yeah.
So like you said, Hull, Coventry think, look, they want me. I'm loved. I played great football. I can be part of getting this club back up, showing ambition. So it's good to know that deal isn't dead. There's still some hope.
But it's you know, Premier League football is such a draw. You know, at the end of the day, you know, players that are playing at that level. Listen, I watched the World Cup final from 4 years ago, and he played in that. Disarcy, he played in that World Cup final. Like, you know, it's, you know, you're talking about, you know, top level players, and look, he ain't getting any younger, so you know, he may not fancy, but you never know. You know, at the end of the day,
take a punt, Nick. Take a punt.
Take a punt. That's it. You don't shoot, you can't score.
Yeah, look, he hasn't dismissed us. He said, look, he's going to wait and see what.
You want to tell Pablo that?
Yeah. He shot a few times. He still hasn't
scored. I'm only joking.
I'm starting to think, right, I said this the other day, that Colchester game, he scored in that Colchester game behiand closed doors. Do you reckon he really did?
Allegedly.
Or do you reckon they just went, just say he scored?
Yeah, just say it. Give it. So, because we've never seen it. We've heard about it. We've never seen it.
It's like the old adage, is it? If a full tree's in the woods and there's no one around to hear it, does it really make a sound?
If a full tree's in the woods,
a tree falls in the. No, I didn't say that. I said if a tree.
You said if a full tree's in the woods.
Did I? Yeah. Well, I meant if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, does it really make a sound?
I like what you said the first time. I think that's the new one.
Yeah, if a full tree's in the woods,
does it?
Yeah, but I've only got your 2 words that Hugo scored that time.
Yeah, that's true. I saw that one.
Yeah.
No, there's only about 800. I actually see that. They showed that on the website, so I actually see that one.
Yeah,
I think I have got heat exhaustion, mate. I think I have got it. This is torture. I hate weather like this. I can't stand it.
So
I really, really fucking suffer in this weather.
Well,
see, I don't mind this weather. It don't really bother me. I like the heat. So, but it does get uncomfortable sometimes, especially at night time when you haven't there's no air and it's just like, you know. Obviously, I've just been away last week and it was a bit similar weather-wise here, but out there you got a pool you can jump in, and you can go and go in the sea. You can go to the bar and get a nice drink. So yeah, it is different, but I actually don't mind the heat.
This weather knocks the bollocks out of me, mate. Bad. Like, I'll literally become absolutely fucking useless. I'll just become a big fat fucking blob, just sitting there, brainless slob, just like sweating it up. Bad.
Let's get to the Burnley game then. Hopefully for you, it'll be a lot cooler up there going up to Burnley. Big game as the chat decides to roast me. Huge. Like this is a marker. Burnley have just started to make some signings now. Their defense had been a big problem. I think they've loaned a defender from Chelsea, and I think Man City they're getting someone. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong.
I see that just a little while ago that they're getting someone from Man City as well.
Yeah. So if they get them in time for our game, that'll be a big boost from them, because for everything I'm hearing from Burnley fans, their defense has been a shambles.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
It's an important game to put a marker down and make a statement. You feeling confident?
Well, the thing is as well, like they've got a terrible home record. They haven't won at home for a very long time, like in the league. So, I'm a lot more confident than I was probably a couple of weeks ago, looking forward to the start of the season. But it's still going to be a tough game. It's opening day of the season. Anything can happen, you know. But if we did go up there and we did lose, there's no need to have a meltdown. It's the first game of the season. But I'm confident we're going to go up there, and I think we will get the win. I think, I didn't go many away games last season, but I went to that one last season and we beat them, and Tatty scored 2. I think Tatty did score 2 that day, didn't he? Or no, Somerville and Tatty, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's it should be. We should get the win. It's going to be difficult, but it's the opening game of the season.
I just want us to go out and get on the front foot straight away. That's what we've got to do, because the other day when we come out against Portsmouth, it just looked like we was feeling them out a little bit, and we didn't know what to expect, and we didn't know whether there was going to just be flying into tackles left, right, and centre. But once we got our rhythm, we was okay, and we've got enough quality there. And although they are signing centre backs right now, as we know, to get a defence organised takes a bit of time, and hopefully we catch them just before they can get organised. As I said before, I think if we can keep tight and keep it, and get on the front foot and actually fucking show that we are, there to play football rather than to stop them from playing, which is what where we go wrong a lot of times. Our quality should shine through, because we've kept.
And it'll be nice to get off to a good win.
Yeah,
good win.
Yeah.
And then if there are any players out there that we're looking to attract and they're watching that, if we go out there and we play well and they look at some of the players that they could be potentially teammates with, it might attract some signings. But it'd be good for Nuno to get off to a good win. Us as a fan base, it'll be brilliant, to get that win and just take week by week, because it is going to be difficult. We know that. But
Sunderland game that we started with last year, right? We looked the better side at a lot of times. We failed to take our chances. They ended up steamrolling over us, and it set the precedent for both the teams. They ended up in Europe, and we ended up going down. And it is important I don't even think the results, terribly important. If you go up there, you play well, and you get beaten narrowly and all that, and you just think, oh look, that was just a bad day at the office. But we can't be going up there and conceding one and then fucking folding. We have to set the precedent. We have to show. Right, because there is what we got to start to think, and I know people don't want to hear this, but we are the big fish now. We are the big fish. People are going to look at us and they're going to target us, thinking, make your fucking name, make your name against them. Especially when they come to our place. So, listen, you get promoted, and you get promoted on your home form. But if you can get a few away wings against a couple of your rivals, you're a shoo-in. So, start well, and I think we will.
Performance is thing. This is the thing. If we lose, that's one thing. It's how we lose. And if we go in there timid and waiting to go, because that Portsmouth, right?
It was just like we was waiting to go down.
Yeah, like you're waiting to go down, then you turn it on, then you start to perform. That's not sustainable. That's not always going to work, because you can go a goal down, and then you go, right, now we're going to start to play. Then they can catch you out, or you just can't hit the bloody target, or the keeper has a worldie. It's unright. Start like that, like you're 1-0 down from the first whistle. And if we end up losing, we can say, do you know what? We gave it a good go. It weren't our day. But if you're sitting there playing timid and defensive, and I just don't think that's going to be the way to go. I see someone on.
Someone said,
the thing is, Wolves are a big club in there, and
so
are we. So
are we not that's just contrary.
We've already broke the record for the attendance in the Carabao Cup. We're going to break records all season with attendances. And look, we've already, if the transfer goes through today or tomorrow, we break the championship record for the biggest signing in history, and we'll probably break that again. That's how big of a club we are.
But
we are the big fish.
That's the thing, though, right? It's all right breaking attendance records. All right. The record we want to break and the record we should be aiming to break is a points record.
Yeah, no, the thing is, Nuno would have sat down with these players at the beginning of the season, or pre-season, and said, listen, we don't want to get promoted automatically. We want to win the league. We want to let everyone know that we are the best team in this league. Yeah. Go out, win the league. Let's win it. It's not going to be comfortable, because we are going to have our ups and downs this season. We know that. But we've got the players to do it, and it's going to be tight. I think a lot of people are saying about Wolves, and yes, they are going to be up there. I think Middlesbrough, Southampton. There's teams that are going to be in and around, so we've got to make sure we beat them, and then everything else would just fall into place. And then hopefully by this time next year, we'll be getting ready to talk about us kicking off in the Premier League next week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, listen, like I said, I see an interesting. I don't know if it was Sky or someone. They was talking about one of our disadvantages, and if Nuno is playing these same style in the Premier League, you're saying a lot of teams that get relegated, they kind of switch from their sort of defensive survival football to more attacking football or more front foot football. to get back promoted again. And if Nuno's going to play the pragmatic way, it might not lend itself to promotion football.
Listen,
you know?
as much, and I know it's changed a little bit. I do know it's changed a little bit, but we got to remember he did do it with Wolves. He did do it with Wolves. You know, the last time he was down there, he pretty much fucking coasted it with Wolves. So he knows what he's doing.
I mean, the thing is,
whether he's got whether he's got it anymore, I don't know. Whether he's got the players to do.
We'll see. He had an excellent team then. That Wolves team. That's when they started.
Yeah, with like Ruben Neves and fucking Semenyo and Semenyo.
Yeah,
and, all of them.
They really start. So yeah, I think he is going to have a sense of bravery in this in his approach. And yeah, look, we'll just see. I think with Sunday, I would put, if we get Engels signed in time, for me, he goes straight in. And that's not a knock on Kante, because I think Kante accounted himself very well. And I think, look, I feel hard done by for him, and he should be coming off the bench. But what a player like Engels gives us in terms of that passing ability and that control, I think is something that we're missing in the midfield. So he goes straight in. Solomon, he goes straight in on the left, like straight in, which means you drop Pablo, right? I think
you have to, yeah. I think you have to.
Yeah, Pablo, Solomon and...
Med Edwards says, has Ryan had a transplant? Well, if he has had a transplant, that must be the quickest fucking recovery for a transplant I've ever seen in my life.
Say that.
Months, mate.
I'm just lucky, mate, that I've got good genes and I haven't lost my hair.
Yeah.
I'm nearly 43 years old. I've gone blind. I'm blind. Fucking blonde. Like,
gone blind.
Yeah, I've gone fucking blind. But
mate. But Leah, would you say why?
Max in Napa, he's gone blind.
Hey,
Max in Napa, gone blind.
Yeah.
Would you put the two new signings straight in? Obviously, if we get Engels in, Engels and Solomon, I think they should go straight in.
I think Engels might, if he does sign in time.
He has been playing for Celtic, though, isn't he? He has been playing football. I think they started their league.
You never know, though. Like, sometimes managers nowadays just chuck players straight in and it works. You know, we've seen it down the years. Look, when I know we talked about him, but Jesse Lingard, when he first come in, people were saying, he's about 6 weeks before he'll be fit, and they chucked him straight in. So,
I mean, Disasi hadn't played for fucking about a year. And
Solomon's had a pre-season, which I was hearing a lot of Spurs fans in our chat that he was their best player in pre-season. So there's no reason he can't go in. And then I think Engels is actually, because the Scottish League had already started. I think he'd already played competitive football for Celtic. So, I mean, fitness isn't really a question for the pair of them. It's just if they can slot in straight, which I think they do. I think they're, to the system that Nuno plays, I think they both just slot straight in, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so. I think it balances the team out a little bit. It has looked a little bit imbalanced in pre-season.
I mean, usually like the last pre-season game, obviously it was a competitive game. That usually tells you the team that's going to be starting the following week. But with the couple of signings, like obviously the other Engels we haven't done yet, but the Solomon ones, he could maybe come in. So
I think what Solomon has done as well, I've heard, is he's very much impressed in training, and people are thinking like this is the real deal. And like you put a player like that in, it just lifts the whole team. You know, it lifts the whole team.
Yeah, look, he's come here to play football. Whatever people have on the views and policies, I mean, I'm not going to get involved in that. You know, he's at the end of the day, he's a footballer and he's come to play football. So it'll be a great addition to the team. And I know there was a lot of Spurs fans that were saying, "Oh, we're signing your best players and you're taking our rejects like always." Well, let's see what happens. Let's see, because you took one of our players last season and you didn't see him for a whole season and he was out of shit. So let's just see what happens. It's not. He's come here to play for West Ham now.
That's correct.
Yeah. We had Jake, the Spurs fan, there was saying that, you know, he thinks the championship would be too easy for him. You know, he's been sharp, and look, he's got the track record at Leeds. Leeds fans love him. They desperately wanted him back. I think they I think it was January they tried to sign him for, or it was either January or last summer they tried to sign him for 10 mil or 10 plus mil, and Spurs rejected it. And ended up selling him to us for half the price. So look, that shows you, at least we know he's been down there, he's done it, and you know he's still relatively young, and he's 26,
27.
27. So he's hitting his prime years now, and I think he's probably hungry.
He's ready to go. So
yeah, he's got to be hungry.
The proof in the pudding is in the eating. That's what they always say. So let's get him in there and see what he fucking can do.
Yeah, just chuck him in. So like, I think the team, apart from those two positions that are contentious, I think the team picks itself with Tatty and Bowen and Walker Peters, Kilman, Mavropanos.
It'd be good to see. It'd be good to see. It'd be good to see Tatty get off to a good start this season, and Bowen as well.
Them two finishes the other day, right in that cup was that was class. That first one,
yeah,
was real
yeah. And look, if we can somehow keep him,
because I'm not confident we definitely definitely are yet at the moment.
And the thing is as well, how many games will we play in the league and cup before the transfer window shuts? 3 or 4, 5 maybe.
We've got one more cup game, haven't we? And then
if he's banging them in left, right, and centre, there'll be Premier League teams looking at him thinking, "Oh yeah, we're taking him in."
The good thing is to know, right? Is we're not pushovers now. So if they do, and he does bang them, we're going to command a lot of money. We're going to smash that fee up, and we'll end up making a profit on him. So that's the good thing to know. Is whereas before, Sullivan with these transfers, he would have bent over for all of them, because you imagine the fees we would have got from these lot.
To be fair as well, like it's probably looking at Tatty, and if he's waiting to the end of the transfer window, he might see how we start. If we go out Burnley, win 4-0, he scores 2, then we go to Charlton, we win 2 or 3-0 when he scores 1 or 2 there, and we go to Wolves and win. He's probably thinking, well, it's looking likely that we're going to go up, and I'm going to have a good season here. If we get beat, he might start to think, get the fuck out quick.
Yeah. Unless it's like, look, he could go to a team that's just in the Prem, right? That's just there, like Everton or whatever, who's been linked with him. Or, if it's a European club, then you go fair play. But like I said, if he's just there for another team that's going to be mid-table, he might as well be part of something important, and go.
What?
A shout out to Andy, by the way. Love the
Please.
show up Burnley.
Please.
What?
Let me just read this. The reason Nicky has changed is obvious. He wants a bigger social media presence and is told to calm down on the criticism of West Ham. Older fan channels seem to get bought by the club in the end.
Do you have a specific example to back it up?
Yeah.
Let
me tell you fucking now, when they're saying to fucking criticize, mate, I'll be the first one there.
I was going to say, the reason why he hasn't is because there's no football being played yet. You wait the fucking season. You wait the Sunday night when we've lost the Burnley.
He's changed so much. Fuck off. I ain't changed.
Bloody changed, you have. Shout out to Gibbo Hibbo Wibbo. There's a name I've not seen in the chat for a while. For becoming a member. I do love that name. Shout out to you, mate. I did put everyone should have I haven't seen how they look, actually, the little gold badges for people who've been a member for a year. And I did put them in, but I haven't seen how they looked, so I've got to see that.
Look, my wife's in the fucking chat. Look, giving it the fucking big one.
Nicky's Millwall. That's what it is.
Fuck off, club.
Yeah, see, he was speaking to the Millwall fans this week, and now look, bloody clowns. So, but yeah, what do you reckon? Then predictions for should be gold. Yeah, where's Matt? What do you reckon predictions then?
I'll say, I think it'll be a tighter game than we think, but I think we get to win 2-1. 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah, I think it'll be cagey at first, but I fancy 3-1. I think 3-1. Nice, get off to the season. Good win. Yeah, 3-1.
Yeah.
3-1 was going to be my one. I'm going to go 3-0. Let's have it. I'm going to say a bit of 3-0.
Straight out. Fucking hell. We've swapped positions, me and you.
Yeah, see, yeah. Now I'm feeling positive. I don't know. I don't know why I'm feeling positive and confident. I could watch the game and then see it, and then I could all change. But right now, I think we're going to do it. Look, I think the defense, that goal we conceded against Portsmouth, with Burnley were a much better side than Portsmouth. That's no doubt about it. But that was a lucky goal that we conceded. It's the wrong one. So I listen. I think the defense has been looking good for the most part. I think our defense has looked good.
Yeah.
And we've got goal scoring. And now, like you said, you throw in someone like Solomon who can create, someone like Engels who can create. If we do throw them straight in, mate, I think we're looking good.
I think we're looking right,
I'm just excited.
We'll see. Someone said, "Look, that's not your wife, Nicky. She's really pretty." What you trying to say? You ever seen Beauty and the Beast? That's all I will say.
The gold badge is too big. It's got to be less than 1 megabyte, so I've got to fix that. So it'll be in place for the watch along. To get the gold badges, get the badge in. A lot of fans are.
Badges.
A lot of people are confident. It seems a lot of some people are saying a draw. Did they stuck with Scotty Parker? Did they?
No. Parker's gone.
No, he's
Who
gone.
they got now then?
I think they got a young manager. I'm sure I can't think of his name now. I think he's quite young. Let's have a look. Bear with me, caller.
Yeah, let me see what it might, because this is the thing. It's a new manager, it might take him a bit of time.
His name's Nick Hayen. Oh no,
Nick Hayen.
Yeah.
It might take him. It might just take him a little bit of time to get going. Did you just call your wife a beast, Nick? I didn't.
I said Beauty and the Beast. It's up to you.
Right. Yeah, but you didn't specify who was the beauty and who was the beast.
Look at me. I look like fucking Shrek.
You've got to clarify these things on the internet.
Yeah, he's only 46 years old, so he's quite a youngish manager. So
it's going to be a lot to be learned from this game. It's going to be a real test, and I think we're going to really get to see where we're at. What do you guys think about this Magassa thing? Because Magassa sort of was injured, then he came back in, and then he sort of disappeared for the Portsmouth game. Like, it seems like he could go. It's random. I think there was some promise in Magassa, but again, like Potts, throwing them two together in the same midfield, I think was just the wrong thing to do. And he's just one of them where 1 week Magassa could look like a world beater, next week he can look like a disaster.
Another one, mate. If he don't want to be here, then leave.
Well, we don't know if it's a case of him.
No. They might not want him or whatever, you know what I mean? But, we'll see. I'll be honest, I forgot all about him. That's how impressed I was by him last year. So,
bloody hell. People still, I'm trying to look for, because there's some news people, I've seen if there's an update on the youth, and people are still banging on about this alarm, government alarm they got. Oh, I got this alarm. It's like, yeah, all right, mate. So did everyone else in the country. You're not special. It looks like
Burnley. Other countries have alarms and alerts for wars. We have one for don't go out and use a disposable barbecue.
Don't go out and have a sausage. You might burn the country down.
Can't even have a spare rib or a sausage in your own garden.
We are in fucking drought though, man. It's got rain soon. Honestly,
yes, it's got a bloody rain. I need a bit of bloody rain.
I thought the government controlled the rain. Some people say, so why don't they just press the button and make it rain then?
Press the rain button.
Yeah, press the rain button. Someone might have just gone on holiday.
How was the eclipse the other day?
Shit.
Yeah, we didn't get it.
I didn't even see it.
Burnt my eyes.
Fucking twats fucking rocked up to some off license in central London to buy fucking eclipse glasses and everything, like 2 a.m. in the morning.
If they had a pallet of old fucking sunglasses, that's the perfect time to get rid of them. Because how are you going to fucking know if they work? You only see it once every 27 years.
I remember making my own ones in school. You had to make a little pin.
I think the next total eclipse, mate, is 2091. So we won't be around to see that.
Mate, yeah. Listen, I'll see the one in 99. I've seen the other one, the other day. That's it.
There's shit. There's nothing special. And if you want to see, you can just see them on YouTube or something. Oh, Blackburn!
Scored again.
Who won to the Blackburn Rovers? Wow, Wolves losing at home. Oof. The Super Wolves team.
See, this is what
big fish, someone said.
That's what we don't want to happen.
No,
because that could set the precedent. This is one of them. Welcome to the championship. Fucking. Oh.
Yeah. This is tough because Blackburn are a team. I think they've always been around about mid-table. They've been up and down, but never really a serious promotion.
Mate, one of only a few Premier League champions.
Yeah, listen, I would love to see them get promoted. You know, they're one of them teams. You know, I remember from my childhood being in a Prem team. You know, but yeah, look, even they got Trippier in and Gomez.
It's not easy. It's not easy. That's what I'm saying. Like,
at home,
they was doing a big thing for Raul Jimenez as well. I think one of the stands was just dedicated for him on his comeback. So
yeah. That's space. Yeah, he's on the bench. Jimenez. He's not.
Well, you know he's going to come on and score the winner. Then it's all written in the stars.
There's plenty of time to go for Wolves. Now they're going to have to turn it up, Wolves. And look, it's big for us because I mean, look, you never know. Blackburn could have that season and become our rivals, but you see it as Wolves being one of them contenders for the title. So them dropping points will only be a good thing. And if we can go and lay a marker down, I think that'll be no VAR as well as Borough fans said. That's the beauty. All these goals, it didn't even cross. It's just like they're goals.
Yeah, they're goals. That's it. Carry on. That's it. Right.
So, right. Well, I'm gonna go and have a hot shower. If it's hot, have a hot shower. If it's cold, have a cold shower. That's how it works.
Don't forget, use your discount code for OK Jerseys. You can go and get these shirts.
Is it 8% again, is it?
No, it's 10%, but I can't find the right overlay. Use Nicky 10.
We added up the whole thing.
I was say, fuck me, that's a big fucking logo.
I don't know where it is, Dan, please.
We added up the whole bloody show.
Never mind. All right. Yeah. Okay. So, OK Jerseys. Nicky 10 for you, 10% off. They got the new West Ham shirt. My boy got the third shirt the other day. I'm not impressed, but there we go.
Apparently, we're going to wear it on Sunday.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not impressed with that third shirt. It's horrible.
Very lackluster. We'll see how it looks on the boys on Sunday. They're coming out.
Kits always look better on the players anyway. They'll probably look the bollocks on the players, but it's not a great design. I think it's like they just thought, well, what should we do? And they just thought, oh, fuck it, whack a few big bubbles on it and pull it out.
Yeah. So listen, if we fucking win in it on Sunday, I'll count it as our lucky kit.
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't give a shit what kit we're in as long as we win, and I don't give a shit. So
well, that's harsh, Matt. I tell you what, I do slightly give a shit that we won the Carabao in that awful fucking orange kit. That hurts me. That hurts me. Imagine Bobby Moore, right?
We won the FA Carabao.
Sorry, the Conference League. Sorry.
Yeah.
But could you imagine seeing Bobby Moore, the iconic picture of him lifting the FA Cup, right, in that shitty flame, fucking white and orange, and that's the visual. Yeah.
Well, we have to, didn't we? But there we go.
Yeah,
right.
There we go. So, listen.
We don't wrap up because I'm fucking boiling. It's going to be like an egg.
Yeah, I'm proper boiling. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Lots to talk about. We'll keep up to date with the transfers, but obviously Sunday, watch Obviously, Nicky's travelling up to Burnley. So there'll be fan cams and all of that stuff. The first league game, the league is back, proper football. Can't wait. So thank you all. Thank you all for the super chatters, the normal chatters. And we'll sort these codes out as well. We'll get this sorted.
Yeah, we'll sort it out tomorrow. I've got mate, I'll be honest with you. I've had a whole week to be in this office. I was out of the office yesterday, but it's been so fucking hot. I can't sit in here till the night time. So I have to do all my work during the night time. So there we go.
Yeah, so bloody hot. Well, anyway, and up the championship. I tell you what, much better than the Prem. Much better than the fucking Prem watching this. So brilliant. Proper football. So take care, everyone. Enjoy your weekend. Stay cool. And one thing left to say.
Come on.